Hey y'all, sorry for the quick intro, but I'm in a bit of a rush here. Oh my god, remember Lilo and Stitch? I sure do. After 3 sequels and an entire live-action remake that somehow made 10 times more than the original, I thought it'd be fun to revisit this movie and see if it still holds up after a crisp 23 years. Is it still as good as they say? Is it better than the live-action remake? Let's find out. A lot of people, including me, have called this movie weird, but the more I think about it, and after watching it for a third time, all it really does is avoid Disney's more overdone tropes. Like, there's no I Want song or princess trying to get laid, or just pointing out how dumb the tropes are as they do them anyway. No, it's simply about a little girl and her alien best friend. It's not like that plot hasn't been done before. I feel like the reason people call it weird is just because of Lilo herself. She's weird. But that's the point. Not only is it funny, but it makes it more realistic that her sister can't take care of her. Plus, everyone around Lilo reacts to how weird she is, so it's not just constant insanity, you know? The only reason I bring this up is because I think it's worth praising and appreciating a movie like this, especially today, for being so original. It actually came out at a time when Disney was kind of in a similar place to today. You know, they were putting out low-quality slop and no one was watching it. The only difference is they didn't own half of Hollywood, so it was just a couple movies that sucked. But a movie like this that was completely the writer and director's vision is exceedingly rare. Treasure Planet, if you remember that one, was also the creator's visions, but it didn't really look as interesting, so it failed. Honestly, it was pretty good, but I don't think kids would go see a movie based on another movie from the 1950s that itself was based on a novel from 1883. Tarzan also looks pretty unique, but I haven't seen that one yet, and gosh darn it, I just wanted to name this video Disney's most original movie, okay? This movie stars Lilo, Stitch, and Nani, Lilo's sister, after their parents died in a car crash a few years ago. Now Nani is left to take care of Lilo alone, but this proves to be too much for her with the constant threat of losing her sister if she can't get things under control. Oh shit, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. This movie actually starts with the mad scientist Jamba and his experiment Stitch on trial in front of the Galactic Council, or whoever these guys are. And now that I think about it, where's the jury? Where's his attorney? This fascist bitch just dishes out a random sentence like the fucking Empire. For all we know, this bitch is Space Hitler, and Stitch was created to stop her blitzkrieg across the galaxy. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, Space Hitler banishes Stitch to a deserted planet where he can't do anything to stop her, but oh no, he escapes and steals a ship. He then uses 2 lasers to epically slice through the ships chasing him before jumping into hyperspace, where he then lands on Earth in Hawaii. The Fuhrer then sends Pleakley and Jamba, the guy who invented him, to capture Stitch. But Stitch meets Lilo and poses as a dog to get adopted by her so he can avoid capture. From here he causes Nani to lose her job, and now she needs to get a new one by the end of the week, or Bubbles, the social worker, will take Lilo away. But every attempt at getting a new job is ruined by Stitch's shenanigans, all while Jamba and Pleakley try to capture him. All of this leads up to a big action climax where Stitch fights them and destroys Lilo's house, leading to Bubbles thinking the house was destroyed because Nani left Lilo home alone again, and so now he's gonna take her away. But then Lilo gets kidnapped by a giant alien voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, leaving Stitch to save the day, and they all live happily ever after. I really love the simple story they went for with this movie. It's just a little girl trying to teach her alien to be God. All of the complexity instead comes from the emotional conflict of the film, with, you know, Lilo's parents having died in a car crash. I love the way they showcase everyone's struggles here. They show Lilo and how weird she is very well. She doesn't come off as unlikable or quirky like she could have. Instead, it just feels like it's built into the way she thinks and she can't help it. Plus, it's also really funny. This, unsurprisingly, keeps her from making any friends, and makes her a lot more dependent on her family, which has either died or is too busy to spend time with her. Which is why Nani took Lilo to get Stitch from the dog store in the first place, because she needed a friend. They also do a great job showing her struggle to take care of Lilo and how much she's sacrificing to take care of her, with her giving up any kind of social life or free time to make enough money for them to live. Man, I just wish they had a neighbor who acted as a motherly figure who babysat Lilo to get rid of all this interesting conflict. Alongside Nani, Lilo is trying to make Stitch into a model citizen, I guess. I don't know, that's what the guy said. So now she's trying to make Stitch normal, which is pretty clear that this is basically just her fixing herself. It makes for a really fun dynamic with everyone around them acting as the straight man. This definitely could have gotten pretty annoying with the whole Stitch keeps fucking up Nani's job opportunities shtick I mentioned earlier, but no, the whole point is that Lilo is trying to make Stitch good, but he just can't help but fuck things up as hard as he tries not to. Plus, it's just entertaining, so it never really got frustrating to me. There's also Jamba and Pleakley who are, like I said, trying to capture Stitch throughout the whole movie. And besides some unnecessary exposition, I think they have some of the funniest scenes in the movie. This movie also has some super nice animation. It's not the best animation from Disney, which, to be fair, is a very, very high bar. I mean, have you seen Tarzan? That shit's insane. But Lilo and Stitch makes up for any admittedly very small shortcomings by just being a very appealing movie. I absolutely love the character designs here, especially Stitch, he's super iconic. It only made like $70 million after marketing costs and the cut to theaters, of course, but it made $2.6 billion in merchandise. So it kind of flopped in theaters but blew up later on with all the sequels and DVDs and shit. I mean, just look at how well the remake did after all these years. I also really like their decision to stick with the more traditional watercolor backgrounds with this movie. A lot of Disney stuff around this time started to incorporate 3D into the backgrounds a lot more to mixed results, and it always took away a lot from the visuals. Unfortunately, as much as I like this movie, I do have some problems with it. It's all great for the first, 40 minutes or so, but then the rest just kind of flatlines as all the characters stop doing anything and just mope around for 20 minutes. After a scene where Jamba and Pleakley get fired for not capturing the genius experiment in a few days, the Fuhrer fires them. So now Jamba just decides to go in and grab Stitch while they're surfing, which then leads to Lilo trying to save Stitch and him accidentally pulling her down. This then leads to everyone hating Stitch and Bubbles telling Nani he'll come for Lilo tomorrow. I get what they were going for here, like, it's a shift in the story to keep things interesting, to give it enough momentum to keep going for another half hour. But this isn't momentum. The characters aren't given a burst of energy to keep the story going. The story screeches to a halt as everyone becomes a victim and just mopes around for 20 minutes. In fact, that's what's supposed to happen at the end of the movie. You know, the lowest point. But instead, it's here in the middle of the movie, so it leads to half the movie feeling like one long, dragged-out ending until the big action climax at the end. Then the actual lowest point, where Lilo gets mad at Stitch for destroying her house, just feels forced, because she was just cheering him on as he destroyed her house like 10 minutes ago. Why not instead have Stitch pull Lilo down as he's being attacked by Jamba, just like in the final movie, and also keep the part where the guy is like, I really thought they had a chance before you came along, and then Lilo's gonna get taken away tomorrow. All that stuff doesn't change. But instead of turning Stitch into a helpless victim for 20 minutes, use this as an opportunity to give the story momentum. Have this be the moment when he stops wanting to destroy and instead tries to fix things. Have him go out and find Nani a job, while Nani is doing all this sad stuff with Lilo. And as Stitch is trying to find a job, Jamba and Pleakley are trying to capture him. Maybe he thinks they're like a flyer or some shit. I don't know. Listen, I have like an hour left to write this video, I'm trying my best, but hopefully you get what I'm saying. Stitch is finally turning around from wanting to destroy to trying to fix his new family. Then when Nani runs out to her new job with said flyer, Jamba comes to the house to capture Stitch. But instead of having Lilo cheer him on as he destroys the house, she should be trying to stop him. And after the fight levels the house and Lilo is being taken away, then she says he messed everything up. As hard as he tried to save his new family, he still couldn't help but destroy it. And finally, the Kevin Michael Richardson alien comes in to capture Stitch, and in true fascist fashion, knowingly kidnaps a little brown child with him. Then Stitch escapes and Nani fucking tortures him to find out where the aliens took Lilo. I'm just kidding, that would have made sense. No, she just smacks Stitch around a little, then asks Jamba and Pleakley to get Lilo back for her, since they work for the Galactic Reich, but they say, no, sorry, that's not how it works, and she just accepts the answer and gives up. I don't know about you, but if my sister was kidnapped, I would be stringing these guys up and cutting off a finger for every minute they didn't call someone to bring her back. It's just another example of how weirdly inactive everyone becomes towards the end of the movie. Literally just have her press them further for answers or give them a better excuse for not being able to help, like their little phone thing got broken or something. Then have Stitch convince Jumbo to go after Lilo with the ship. Then we get the same ending as before with the big chase and the eventual rescue of Lilo, and Lilo stopping him and saying that he's part of the family and that she legally owns him. No surprise that the only thing this Nazi bitch respects is owning people, so she accepts and lets Stitch stay with them. Finally, we end with a shot of Stitch fixing the house with his newfound family. And that's his arc complete. Again, despite my criticism of the ending, I did really like this movie, especially the very ending where all the characters join into a family together. But it's got issues that are really hard to ignore for me that I think hurt the movie quite a bit, although the first half is still great. I think this movie should be an example to all those slimy executives out there that if you give creatives the room they need to make what they truly want to make, then you'll have a much better chance of making the next big thing than if you just make another movie about a quirky princess or another fucking half-assed remake. Just look at SpongeBob. That show is the result of a creator being able to make his own unique show about a sponge who works fast food and catches jellyfish come to life. And it became the next big thing. Oh yeah, and to answer the question of whether the remake is better than the original, no.